Bohn III and Norm Duke. They have a combined 227 televised finals between them to go along with 72 wins and 9 majors. But through their great accomplishments, Mike, it's very interesting that they've only faced each other twice on television. The road to the Cheetah Championship today goes through Norm and Parker. And oh, by the way, did I mention they're in their 50s?
Kimberly Pressler is standing by with our book and PBA Hall of Famers.
Thanks, guys. As you guys mentioned, 227 TV appearances between these two, but unbelievably, they've only met up twice. So, Parker, we're going to start with you. You have to go through Andrew Cain in order to get to the final, but what would it mean for you if you could possibly go up against your fellow Hall of Famer right here in the final?
Well, I mean, who better to bowl against than Norm Duke out here right now? He's one of the greatest of all time, and the accomplishments speak for themselves, but I'm a firm believer if you bowl the best, you bring the best to the plate, and I'm ready up for the task. All
right, good luck to you today, and thank you for your time. So, Norm.
What he said.
Yeah, what he said. But it's a little different for you because both times you've matched up against him, he's beat you. So how much motivation are those 2 losses for you to try and get through Paul Moor and possibly make it to the final and possibly go up against him?
You know, I was thinking the other day, how long has it been since Parker and I bowl on TV? And I didn't remember. So it's been so long ago. There's no vindication or anything like that. I think it's more of a respect for the other player and enjoyment that we get to still play against one another at our ages. And I guarantee you, we both want to win very, very badly.
All right, well, good luck to you today. Thanks so much, Norm. So it looks like 2 of the winningest players in the sport are going to do everything they can to make it to the final.
All right, let's take a look at the Cheetah Championship oil pattern, 35 feet in length. It's the shortest of the named animal patterns, and no, folks, no animals were injured in the naming of these oil patterns. This is a simultaneous match. We're going to have 2 matches going on at the same time. Cheetah oil pattern, MJ, synonymous with high scores and a lot of strikes. We had 13 300 games so far in this event.
35 feet of oil, 25 feet of dry in the 60-foot lane, side-by-side, simultaneous semifinals. The winners of each move to the title match. Opening shot belongs to Parker Bohn III. And shakes out the 10-pin.
And both Parker and Norm Duke, past champions here on Cheetah.
Paul Moor taking on Norm Duke on the right pair of lanes. Moor 37, representing England. Has a World Bowling Tour title, counting for a PBA Tour title. His opening shot splashes the rack.
We have 3 southpaws on today's telecast. Norm Duke, the only right-hander, as Andrew Cain steps up on the left pair right lane.
Andrew Cain looking for his first national PBA Tour title. Opening pitch. And comes up into the nose. 2 in the 4.
A lot of friction to the outside part of the lane on the Cheetah oil pattern. Players are going to use that friction to get their bowling balls to hook up into the pocket.
Norm Duke. Strike apiece, Duke and Moor in the right side of the semi. Cain at the 2-4. And a good spare conversion.
Norm Duke, the all-time average leader on the Cheetah oil pattern here at the World Series of Bowling at just over 240.
Duke striking piece, second frame. That's light. 2-pin. Could have been worse. Andrew Cain out of Phoenix, Arizona. First shot in the left lane. And that's a shaker and gets the rack to fall. Duke at the single pin. Against Moor.
Norm Duke said he's competitive on this oil pattern because it reduces rev rates and brings everybody down to his level. He can back his hand out of it, stay out, stay straight, and use speed. Everybody's neutralized. The power game doesn't reign supreme on Cheetah.
Bohn likes to let it go on the outside part of the lane. That one comes up high, 247. Paul Moor's strike percentage during the match play portion of the event, 78.5%, courtesy of Rolt.
That's extremely high.
Almost 8 out of 10, 7 is slapped.
Well, you can see why with carry like that, you're going to throw a lot of strikes. Both left-handers on that left pair. Bohn and Cain both go high on the right lane.
Paul Moor, very, very accomplished European player. He's got 16 European bowling tour titles, looking for his first on PBA tour title on the American side. He is a winner at the 45th Brunswick Ballmaster Open in 2015 in Helsinki, Finland. Moore looking for success on this side of the Atlantic. Success on that pitch.
The soft-spoken, soft-stroking Englishman with a three-bagger.
Bohn working the spare. 7, the last to fall.
The ageless one. I know he has the fountain of youth in his backyard. He won't admit it, but I know he does.
The well runs deep in Jackson, New Jersey. Now Norm Duke, always fascinating to watch Norm. Every moment, Norm is thinking through every shot. Third frame, spare working, light again, and he crumbles the 2 forward.
Yeah, Norm is a little unsure right now. Ball reaction, he goes with that real soft hand, and the last 2 shots, both light, but Norm, nice break there, tripping the 2.
Cain, strike working.
Sit.
Sit. Flat 7.
I think he made a ball change there.
Oh, very good.
Now, can Norm double up and reduce the deficit to 10? Paul Moor, perfect through 3. Norm strike, spare straight.
Every time Norm competes, you can just feel that he feels the importance of the situation.
He's a pretty intense competitor on the lanes.
Down 20. Duke cuts lead in half of the perfect strike.
Perfect shot for Norm on the left lane.
Past president of the United States Bowling Congress, Andrew Cain, can now focus more on competition. In 2016, part of his focus is to compete more and more often.
One more.
Andrew Cain crossing over. He owns 2 PBA regional titles. The last coming at the PBA Sands Regency Tri-Region Open here. Wide and a 10-pin.
Good shot, bad break. No doubles yet on that left lane, or on that left pair. Parker Bohn, the third strike, spare strike. Andrew Cain, spare strike, spare, looking to convert the 10-pin here in the 4th.
Both of our simultaneous semifinals roll on when we return to the Kingpin Club. Duke, Bohn, can they move on? The PBA Cheetah Championship, presented by PBA Bowling Challenge mobile game, is brought to you by Reno Tahoe, USA. For your next vacation getaway, go to visitrenotahoe.com. By Geico, over 75 years of savings and service. By El Dorado, Silver Legacy and Circus Circus, Reno's premier downtown properties. By Roltec. Try Roltec Action Bowling's daily contests and win real cash using your league scores. Make your mark. The Reno Arch has welcomed tourists to the biggest little city in the world since 1926 in beautiful downtown Reno, Nevada. Tournament highlights. The qualifying portion leading to this round of 8 match play.
Parker Bohn, the third, took on Wayne Garber, and he swept 3-0 in his match.
Norm Duke, the same over fellow PBA 50 Player of the Year Ron Moore.
And Paul Moor, he sweeps Mr. Cheetah, Eugene McEwen, in 3 as well.
McEwen, a former 2-time Cheetah champ, and Andrew Cain taking out Rhino Page, 3-1 in best of 5 competition. And the 4 there are the 4 here. In the PBA Cheetah Championship, Parker Bohn versus Andrew Cain, Paul Moor versus Norm Duke. Winners advance to the title match as our simultaneous semifinal matches continue. Couple lead changes while we were away, Randy.
Yeah, Norm Duke was working on a double, and he followed it up with 2 beautiful shots here to take the lead and go from a double to a 4-bagger. Back-to-back jacks for the wee Iceman.
Our 2 Hall of Famers, Duke and Parker Bohn, attempting to advance. Here's the Duke score. Duke ahead by 13, 4-bagger working. And Parker Bohn the third, trailing by 2 to Andrew Cain, who had the other lead change with that double. Now Parker Bohn working in the 6th frame, working on the spare. On the right lane. Messenger no in front.
Well, he didn't like the shot he made on the left lane when he went high. Looked like he grabbed it, and that time makes a really nice shot, and Messenger goes in front. Now Paul Moor, right lane, looking to get back in this match using an IQ Tour Nano. And a good shot. Paul Moor averaging 258 for 6 games in match play. Remember, MJ, 24 finalists. The top 8 qualifiers got a first-round bye.
Paul Moor was one of those buys. He advanced directly into the round of 16, defeating Canada's Patrick Girard, and then Eugene McCune to advance to the semifinal. Now, Moor up, 7th frame strike working, can cut the lead to single pins. Oil tinted blue trying to peel it off the teal, and he gets it.
Norm Duke, the only player in our field of 4 today that actually had to compete in the round of 24.
Strike for Parker Bohn the third in the 7th. Our Columbia 300 fun fact today. Norm Duke is the all-time average leader in cheetah events at the World Series of Bowling, 240 plus over the first 6 years of this event. Strikes working, trying to extend his lead to 13 with a strike in the 7th. Light, and the 7 falls and the 10 wiggles. Cain up with a lead and strikes working. Here's what's in his bag with the dark matter. Hook rating of 7 on a potential scale of 10. Yes, shakes him down, increasing the lead to 13.
Yeah, he's real comfortable now, making good shots.
Spare for Norm Duke. Andrew Cain also earning one of those 8 buys through qualifying into the round of match play, defeating Bob Learn Jr. in the round of 16. And then, as we saw, taking out Rhino Page to advance here. Trying to take out one of our Hall of Famers in advance of the title match. 8th frame. A little further out, 3-6-7 split.
Yeah, it looked like he got it wide and fast. Maybe miss it a little bit at the bottom, and the ball just never picked up.
Duke versus Paul Moor. He's up by 2 pins. Norm's first crack in the 8th. Right over the first arrow, light, and a good mix. Three, 6, 7 attempt. Open frame. And that's your hammer tough spare replay on this occasion.
Yeah.
Not converted.
And that couldn't have happened at a worse time for him. Look at this.
And the 7 pin is late.
Goodness.
It falls.
Norm doesn't get that break. Paul Moor does. And now he just increases his lead. He's in the 230s. Norm's in the 220s. Take a look at Parker Bohn III's arsenal. Mastermind, Brainiac.
Here's today's Barbasol close shave of the day.
Watch the head pin now. Goes to the sidewall, comes across. The head touched that 7, and then the body of the head pin takes care of the rest.
Roller, no. 7. Paul Moor has taken the lead with that turkey, and the first to operate in the foundation frame. Mixing, strike, shakes the 10 out.
Yeah, Norm Duke's in trouble now because Paul Moore's already in the 240s, and he can strike out for 267 and shut out Duke. Amazing how fast the match seesawed. Norm had the lead after 6 frames, and now all of a sudden he's trailing again because of the bad carry in the 7th. As you take a look at Norm's arsenal, the lock, strongest ball in his arsenal. Right now, Norm Duke is thinking about one thing and one thing only, and that's striking out 9th and 10th to force Paul Moor to get the first strike in the 10th frame.
And a strike for Norm, fills the foundation frame, cuts the lead to 8 pins.
Take.
Parker Bohn III in the foundation frame. 7, almost the 10.
Carry not very good on that left pair for the
Parker.
two lefties. Norm is gone to tape. He's asked for a little bit of time, which is legal.
And he's also instructed Parker Bohn to shoot a spare should he wish, and Parker will take that option. Norm said, shoot 2, Parker. Cross lane. Belly of the beast in the pit.
Big strike, or big shot coming up here for Norm. This will get him in the 240s.
Help.
Look out. Done.
Big 410.
Wide. Get it there. It's hooking.
Andrew Cain foundation frame trails by 1.
Come on, go.
Oh.
And almost another 7-10 with the 10 late to fall.
1-pin match. If he converts that spare, Norm Duke's day is all but over. As he tries to somehow convert the 4, 6, 7. Great try.
The other way, and 2 out of 3. But 224 is the final score for Norm Duke. Cain clips it.
Paul Moor just needs to keep the ball in the lane and stay behind the foul line. Two in the 10th, or all 3 in the 10th, rather. It's 267.
Moore to advance to the title match. And he will bowl for his first PBA Tour title on American soil. Trying to join his countrymen, Dom Barrett and Stuart Williams, Englishmen with PBA Tour titles. 10th frame, Cain Bohn, anyone's match.
One time, go.
Nope. 7 does fall, which is huge. Roller. Too late.
This lane. Come on.
He's gone light back-to-back shots on that lane, and unfortunately for him, he had to finish the 10th frame on that left lane. Parker Bohn III now can get up and double in the 10th. If Andrew converts this spare, Parker can double and shut him out.
Spare for Cain. Paul Moor's in the 260s. And Moor takes out one PBA Hall of Famer, advancing to the title match in the Cheetah.
That's fine, Bohn.
That's a great effort in that time.
Get them all here. Get them all.
Paul Moor, a gentleman. You heard him Giving Norm some props for that split attempt in the 10th.
Cain fill ball.
Play.
203. Final score from Andrew Cain.
Scores a lot lower on that pair than I thought they would be. Paul Moor doing what I expected, the 265. Norm could have struck out for 259. Now it's all about Parker Bohn III. Strike, spare, or excuse me, strike and a spare, and it's over. He'll shoot 205.
Hasn't struck here since the 4th frame. 10th frame to advance. Yes, baby.
All he needs now is 9 on 2 balls.
Parker Bohn dropped a significant hammer.
That was a beautiful shot.
With a win today, he'd win his 35th and move into 5th place by himself all time, passing Mark Roth on the all-time list of PBA Tour titleists.
It's enough.
Parker Bohn III advances. Along with Paul Moor, we'll have an all-lefty final as the PBA Cheetah Championship will return with our title match. 1 out of 2 Hall of Famers. Bohn, Cain. Title match coming next. The beautiful Truckee River intersects right through downtown Reno. Recreational opportunities in the river and a beautiful walking path to either walk or bike. Randy, are you an in the water or an out of the water kind of guy?
I'm both, Mike. Get your waders on.
A little fly fishing.
Let's go.
With Randy Peterson. Coming up, the PBA Cheetah Championship title match. Parker Bohn III faces Paul Moor. It's uninterrupted, and it's next. The PBA Cheetah Championship presented by PBA Bowling Challenge rolls on at the King Pig Club at the National Bowling Stadium. Great support here from bowling fans in Reno, and it's time now for the Ebonite Flashback.
Well, last year, Anthony Pepe left a lasting impression in winning last year's PBA Cheetah Championship. Pepe, who was making his first career TV Finals appearance, was nearly perfect in the 3-player semifinal match. He started with the front 11 and shot 295. Dick Allen got off to a red-hot start, but disaster. The last 3 frames, including that pocket 710 in the 10th frame. Pepe steps up in the 10th, needing just a mark. And what better way to win your first career title?
PBA Cheetah Championship title match, and we have now moved to the center pairs. So Randy, the right lane is now the left lane, and the left lane is now the right lane. And here's our laydown area.
Yeah, right here, both players, Paul Moor and Parker Bohn III, playing around the 7th, 8th board in the front part of the lane, just a little bit of head belly.
So now title match begins. The right lane now becomes the left as Parker Bohn begins our title match. 4 around the 7. Randy, we saw Parker working with his tour reps. What options was he working?
Well, he was talking about tucking his pinky, and what that does is it adds a little bit more pressure to the fingers. Parker's trying to get a little bit more lift. It looks like he's going to go with that. It was hard to see in that shot there, but I think I saw him tucking his pinky.
Parker's A game is to roar it up 1, 2, 3 and let the lane bring it back. And spare there. And now Paul Moor will begin on the other lane, which was formerly the left lane, now becoming the right lane.
Mike, I was told there would be no math. Oh, wait. That's just left, right. Okay. Just let me know where we're at. I'm confused.
We are in the title match of the PBA Cheetah Championship, and Paul Moor is looking for his first PBA Tour title on American soil. Opening pitch. 4 around the 7, same way.
Both players starting with identical ringing 7s, you know, and what an opportunity for Paul Moor, making his first ever telecast here stateside and bowling for the title against arguably the 2nd greatest lefty of all time, Parker Bohn III. I mean, what an opportunity for this soft-spoken man from England looking to join Stu Williams and Dom Barrett his other two champions from his country.
Spare for Moor. Randy, Paul admittedly has not had much success on the shorter patterns, and his change for this tournament was to get softer with stronger equipment.
Yeah, he wanted to use stronger equipment, and the reason being is because there's so much friction in the outside part of the lane. He wants the bowling ball to read early so it doesn't overreact down lane. A lot of times when you see players bowl on Cheetah for the first time, because the pattern is so short, they'll use shiny equipment, and it tends to overreact.
Second frame, each player on a spare. Mixing strike from Moor, who says this is the end goal. Lots of European players want to have success in the PBA Tour.
Without question. I mean, this is the stage, right? And it's now the World Series of bowling, and we're starting to see more and more players from around the world having success against the greatest the U.S. has to offer.
Which will certainly be a part of this Geico PBA World Series of bowling in future pattern championships. Parker Bohn, second frame, spare working. Tomahawks the 7.
Yeah, that was nasty too. You're going to get a lot of that because there's a lot of friction. Parker gets to throw it hard. Is exactly what he likes to do. Take a look at Parker Bohn, the third swing here with our track tech talk, and it's a beautiful arm swing. It starts a little bit to the outside, and then it starts to kind of tuck its way back up underneath his shoulder. And what that does is it gets his hand to work the inside part of the bowling ball. And there's the rack shredder right there. What a beautiful swing.
Parker not afraid to let it hang over the gutter. Come on. Yes!
He's made a lot of money playing that part of the lane.
Looking to eclipse Mark Roth on the all-time PBA Tour titles list.
Talking with Parker, I said, hey, have you been doing much with your game? He says, Randy, right now all I'm trying to do is feel the ring finger at the bottom of the swing. And what that does is that helps him kind of feel that his hand is behind the bowling ball.
Paul Moor trying to join Dom Barrett and Stu Williams from England, who have had success on the PBA Tour, and he says it's nice to have my chance as well. Interesting targeting, Randy. Oh, he shaves the 9 and no go, but Paul's targeting is where he looks when he releases the ball.
Yeah, it's a very unique way to target. He looks at the foul line and asking, well, what are you specifically looking at? And he says, I really don't look at anything. I just go by feel. But look at this awful break. Ooh. Boy, does that bring back bad memories.
Clips the spare. Does Paul Moor, trailing by 10 pins, and Kimberly Pressler is laneside. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. So, Norm, I know this is not the way you wanted to end the match, but with the exception of the guy you bowled, the opponent, Paul, he did well, but everybody else seemed to struggle on the lanes, and this was a lower scoring cheetah pattern than we're used to seeing. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know, for the whole 2 weeks, we've been upstairs at the 80 lane, four stories up. This is the first time that we've been exposed to this 12-lane center downstairs. I think it's the idiosyncrasies that we're just not used to yet. Give this a little time, and it'll be very high scoring, I guarantee it.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Paul Moor picks up a strike in the 4th.
Yeah, Norm brings up a great point. You know, the players did all their qualifying up in the big arena, and this is the first time we've been down in this 12-lane center. And it might take, 10-lane center. It might take a little bit of time to get used to the approaches, to get used to ball reaction, to get used to how the ball goes through the pins.
The debut of the Kingpin Club at the National Bowling Stadium. Parker Bohn, couple strikes and a lead can increase it. 4th frame. High, avoids the split.
Looked like it was up the lane and inside of target the whole way. The Kingpin Club. I wonder if Big Ern McCracken is a member here. You can see this ball is just right of target, and he knew it.
I looked at the IMDb for Randy Peterson. You're listed for your credit in that movie. Cross lane, pickup of the 4-7 for Parker Bohn III. Head over to PBA.com to check out the latest PBA Bowling Challenge mobile game for iPhone, iPad, and Android devices. With more than 15 million downloads, you can join your friends as well as bowl against the top PBA bowlers in dozens of tournaments all around the world. Click on the link at PBA.com and get started today. Parker Bohn III, fifth frame, +8.
Look out.
Mixing, power mix.
That one got back, though. It looked like it was wide with a little bit of a miss hit at the bottom of the swing, and it made it back.
Parker's wife Leslie and Justin Brandon Bohn enjoying the action, and another look.
Living on the edge right here. And he's just hoping and praying that there's some friction created real quick. I don't know if Parker left to go get another orb or what he's doing over there.
Chance for Moore to strike and take the lead here, fifth frame. He exhaled, didn't like it right away, 3-pin.
Yeah, poor shot, poor execution on that one, but coming off of that solid 9-pin in the third, he could have had 3 in a row and had been in the lead, but obviously disgusted with his execution on that shot.
Spare for Moore. Randy, part of what allows Paul Moore to use the stronger balls is he has a natural tendency to get around the ball, so he's got to go a little bit differently to take advantage of those stronger balls.
But you don't want to go around it a whole lot on Cheetah, because if you do, you're going to get a lot of over-under reaction, meaning when you get it to the dry, it's going to overhook. When you get it in the oil, it's going to go 60 feet. You're better off rolling it, and I like using a stronger ball. Norm did it and was, literally a 10th frame away from possibly advancing. He used a real strong ball and just kept his hand soft and rolled it.
Sixth frame title match. Bit of a tough break, 10-pin stance.
And just not able to get his ball to go through the pins on a consistent way or the correct way. This looks like a pretty good shot, and the ball just kind of labors to get up to the pocket and comes in just a little bit light, leaving that little mixing 10-pin. Paul Moore is actually a member of the UK 10-pin Hall of Fame, was inducted this year.
Big star on the European Bowling Tour is Moore. All the way across the lane.
Looking to become a big star here stateside, and he's just a few frames away from accomplishing that. Unfortunately, he's trailing by 9, and Parker Bohn can now increase that lead to 19 with a strike here.
All-time PBA Tour list. Walter Ray Williams Jr., Earl Anthony, Norm Duke, and a tie there. Pete Weber, 4th, and the tie is Roth and Bohn. And Bohn trying to exceed Roth here today. Let's see what he's got up his short sleeves after a visit to the concourse. Double to increase his lead to 19.
I'll tell you, when you look at that list, I thought when you got to 20, that was a big deal. But when you get to 30-plus wins, it's really rarefied air. It's an impressive list. You saw some of the names there. Dick Weber, obviously Parker, Earl, Walter, some incredible professional bowlers on that list. The amount of titles is really incredible. But not only that, seeing and watching Parker Bohn do what he can still do at age 52, quite remarkable.
Truly the Mount Rushmore of professional bowling. Chance to extend the lead further. 7th frame.
Come on.
Oh yeah, deep.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer with 34 titles for a reason, because when he has the opening, he takes advantage.
Yes, baby.
Parker now in the 220s. Paul Moore going at 199.
Spare working for Moore. Sorely needs a strike in his 7th. He's got 4 frames left to operate, looking for his first PBA Tour title here in America. Light. No, 3-9 double wood.
It's in trouble. Parker Bohn's lined up. Paul Moor is not. This ball never picks up, goes light, and leaves the 3-9. Paul Moor running out of frames.
With a tough spare remaining. Through the blue and through the 2. Spare for Moor.
It's now down into the must-strike frames for Paul. If he strikes that, he can shoot 227. Right now, Parker Bohn III's at 228. And it's do or die. In my opinion, he has to strike out to have a chance to win.
Kicks the 7 away, and that strike for Paul Moor fills the box in the 8th.
That was a good shot. Now, I don't see Parker Bohn taking his foot off the accelerator anytime soon. I mean, this might be over with the next 2 shots thrown by PB3, 8th and 9th, working on 3 in a row.
Two-time PBA Player of the Year, was voted the 10th greatest player in PBA history in the top 50 voting back in 2009, trying to eclipse Mark Roth on the all-time list. Strikes working. 8th frame. Light bucket.
Ooh. This is going to get interesting. And Parker indeed going with that tucked pinky, but he now left the bucket on the right lane of the championship pair. A little bit of a bounce here. That ball bounced a little bit in the front part of the lane and lost a little bit of traction. And if he doesn't convert this match got real interesting in one frame.
Also lost a few pins, but he picks up the spare, splits it perfectly.
A great spare. And now Parker looking to strike in the 9th frame to set up the 10th. And here is a look at the scoreboard. Parker still ahead by 27. No matter what Paul Moor does, he can't shut out Parker Bohn if Parker marks here in the 9th frame.
But if Moore fills the sheet, he would force a double somewhere out of Bohn. 9th and 10th frame title match. Oh! Checked up, split, 6-7.
Are you kidding me? Just when it looked like it was going to be a runaway, he goes bucket, and then he goes through the face and leaves the 6-7. Parker needs to slide this over. Paul Moor is, not only is he back in this, he can now strike out and win this match. If Parker doesn't convert, Paul Moor can step up and throw a strike in the 9th, 2 in the 10th, and win his first title.
Added to his ballmaster in Finland, and he skates it by. And now, how the tide has turned. Paul Moor, ball in hand, foundation frame.
Wow. What a turn of events here at the Cheetah Championship. Unreal.
His countrymen, Don Barrett and Stu Williams, have had success. Paul wishes badly to join them. It's in his own hands, foundation frame.
He's got to have this one.
He cured it, and he doubles.
What a great shot that was. All right, here's the scenario. Parker Bohn right now is at 210. Parker can strike out for 220 as we take another look. What a gorgeous shot this was. Paul Moor now is at 207. The next strike gets him into the 2 teens, and a double gets him into the 220s. 2 here in the 10th frame, and 4. Paul Moor wins for the first time.
Extra lung full of high altitude oxygen. 10th frame.
Get there.
7.
Too bad. Pretty nice shot there, only to leave a flat 7. Parker Bohn III now just needs a mark and good count in the 10th frame for title number 35. As you take a look, this ball just a little soft in the pocket. Scores a lot lower than I thought they would be. But man, did this come down to an exciting match here in the 9th and 10th frame.
Spare for Paul Moor. Clean fill gives him 206, which would leave Parker Bohn with 17 pins to fill.
And Parker, the last time on that right lane, even though it's the left lane, remember he went bucket, even though he converted the spare. Ooh, that's the one he was looking for. You see how the 4-pin caved the 7 out there? That's the one he was looking for.
206 for Paul Moor.
Re-rack.
Parker Bohn III is going to get a re-rack in a monumental situation. The qualifying, the match play, getting into this new venue, and history is on the line.
Yeah, and it's all coming down to this one shot. I mean, a strike here and pretty much hand him the trophy. You got to figure Parker can manage 7 pins and 2 balls if he strikes.
Bohn qualified at 5th after 9 games, defeating Tom Baker, fellow Hall of Famer, in the round of 16, and Wayne Garber in the round of 8 for the win.
Parker Bohn drops the Hall of Fame hammer. Not only is he a great guy, but he's one of the greatest to ever throw a bowling ball. Listen.
Woo! Yeah, yeah!
It's enough.
Parker Bohn, PBA Cheetah champion. And the Bones will join him with Kimberly Laneside when we return to the Kingpin Club. The PBA Cheetah Championship, presented by PBA Bowling Challenge Mobile Game, is brought to you by Eldorado, Silver Legacy, and Circus Circus, Reno's premier downtown properties. Barbasol Shaving Cream, America's leader for a close, comfortable shave. Now with new rust-proof aluminum bottoms. By Reno Tahoe USA. For your next vacation getaway, go to visitrenotahoe.com. And by the USBC, a future for the sport. Santa and his sleigh scheduled for a landing here in Reno next week as Parker Bohn III claims the PBA Cheetah Championship. Final score, 210-206. And time now for the Geico Championship recap with Randy.
Parker Bohn III got up to a really nice start, had a nice lead, nice strike there in the 7th, but a huge opening in the 9th frame gave this man, Paul Moor, an opportunity to double in the 10th and win his first ever title. He leaves that 7-pin, leaves the door open. Parker Bohn III slams it shut. Title number 35 is his. And that is your Geico Championship recap.
Coming up next Sunday on ESPN, it's the PBA Viper Championship at 1 Eastern, featuring a World Championship semifinal rematch between Ryan Simonelli and Gary Faulkner Jr. Another World Series of Bowling chapter is added in historical fashion. Parker Bohn III eclipses Mark Roth for 5th on the all-time PBA Tour list. For Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler, this is Mike Jakubowski. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone.
Welcome to anything